Okay, joining friend.
Oh, are we?
Yeah. Oh, this is a
Are we?
5-time servers. Okay, so yeah.
Are we?
Are we?
Cake?
Bukak? Why, hello, Liz, our one and only true.
Actually, the next would be Bakuke.
Bakuk?
And then Bakike.
Bakike? Okay. Weird flex, weird flex.
And then if you used Y, it'd be Bakuke.
If for some reason you get in before me, on the off chance, make sure to gather a bunch of cloth first so we can build bags for each other. Well, I'm glad the stream could join us right as I'm fucking loading in and I didn't think this through.
We have to keep them entertained.
Yes.
Show me nipples.
I don't have a camera.
Turn on real quick. Show me nipples.
Listen to my nipple. Basically. Well, hopefully this doesn't look like shite.
Already does. You're playing the game.
Ouch, sir. Ouch.
Now, I'm pretty sure my brother wasn't talking about this, but he literally just said you can die because of how high you are. I think he's talking about building like height.
Yeah, you do, man. That's definitely what your middle school brother is saying. He's gonna be a 6th grader, isn't he?
Yep, he's climbing the ladder that is life.
Escuela!
Oh, that too, I guess. Soon he will get to talk from my dad.
Don't penis girlfriends.
That's not what it is. It's what he told me when I was in 9th grade. He said, the older you get, the bigger the dick you suck gets.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I suck quite a bunch of female dicks at the moment. I'm not looking forward to having to work. Maybe my streaming career will take off all of a sudden while I'm gone.
Me too. Hey.
Hey.
I'm an A cup. I don't know if that helps this.
Should you start streaming on a cam website?
I can show you too. If that's what you guys want.
That's what we should do. We should get like a gay porn campsite and just with our shirts off, just play video games while sweating. Oh, I died. More oil from my chest.
Hey guys, every kill and I'll twist my nipples.
Every donation, you get another clothespin on the nip.
She said that I'm really quiet and you're really loud.
Good. I'll try my best to fix that, Liz. I agree. What's going on? Wow, that's good. Can't be any of those.
I love when you breathe into my ear so loud.
I love reading.
You're still alive.
Well, let's see if I can actually get out of this game and fix. I don't think I'm getting out of this.
Well, you can't the window.
I did. A little bit. Now Liz can see what all of our names are in Discord. Speak, sir. No. Okay, I'm in.
Never.
G. Okay, I'm in E15. Where are you at?
Loading.
Okay. Let it know.
I started loading like a minute before.
Welcome, Liz, to I hit rocks with shit for like 5 minutes.
Okay, I gotta say this. Do you know how proud I am? Didn't know what the word yeet meant, and now she...
Wow, you lagged the fuck out, and they probably will hear that on stream.
Oh. Do you want me to say it again?
Yes.
I said, I'm very proud because my girlfriend didn't know what the word yeet meant, Liz. So, and now she's using it in like sentences for speaking.
As opposed to sentences for farting. That was a bad.
She's a lady.
Clearly my bad. No one hit me. Oh.
That's why I hate playing this game. Loading times are ridiculous.
I mean, do you have an SSD? Is this installed to your SSD?
Oh, I'm entering the game.
I installed this to my SSD, so.
I think I did, but I do not remember.
Oh, thank God. I forgot that this is a 5 time server, so I'm like, this is gonna take forever. No, it really won't. Fuck, nut, dude. God, fuck this rock.
Oh, we can't be racist. Damn it. We can't threaten other players. Oh,
Probably.
you mean like their families?
Probably.
What do you mean in game? Chat spamming. Dick, 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 dick. Is that kind of being racist or sexist? Because I'm just
Or homophobic?
male body part. Oh, okay, where did you say you were?
E15, where you at?
Which one is the map again? It's been a very long time. Gee, I'm inspecting my rock. Where are you? Wait, where are you?
E15.
Oh, I'm in E16.
Hey, my dude.
Hey. Oh, you know what really sucks though? You're not gonna be able to see my impressive bush.
Okay.
Oh boy, I'm lagging.
Are you? See, why are you the one lagging? I feel like I should be the one lagging.
Here we go. I'm okay now. Making my way downtown. Where are you?
Adult Minecraft. I'm on the northern side of the island, like the west side of the island.
Make a spear. Do I need stone to make a spear? I don't remember.
No. But it's 5 times server, so. And it's instant crafting too, so. I love instant crafting on servers. It's so good.
Bro, you know what else is so good?
This,
Our friendship.
okay.
Don't. Were you about to say this dick?
No. Never.
You know, it's so good.
Mama's sweet home cooking.
Stop. Whatever you're about to say, our friendship needs to be valued more. Oh man, just hitting a tree with a rock, man. This is the most exciting game ever.
Where are you at, by the way?
I'm hitting a tree with a rock.
What square?
E16.
Okay, so you haven't left it? Okay, we can settle around there. I've got enough wood that we can make a small one by one.
I got enough wood too. I was looking at you too long.
Yeet. Wait, are you a chick? I didn't even check. Okay, I'm a black dude.
You're always a black dude and I'm always a chick. Wait, does that count as racist?
No.
I love the women.
Whammon.
I'm not racist. Dude, we're not anywhere near a road though. We're on an island.
We're right next to harbor and mining outpost. And the water.
I'm gonna go poke some shit in harbor.
No, well, we can meet at harbor, but there might be people in harbor, dude. What?
So, side story for when we watch this again in like 3 years. So,
Sky, is that you?
I don't know, probably. Am I walking towards pier and do I have a spear and am I naked?
What? I thought I heard somebody. Start moving again.
Walking towards harbor.
Oh, yeah, hey, turn around. Hey!
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 Oh, I almost threw my rock, but I need
Don't,
that.
no. Don't know. Come here. We're gonna die to the fucking radiation.
So she pronounces the word epitome, epitome.
Come here,
So
Skylar. I have to invite you.
I am poking things that are more important than you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start making us some, beds.
Oh, I have 5 barricades.
Oh, come here, Skylar. I have a bow. You can have my other thing.
I have 5 window shutters, Gunnar. This is retarded officially. Wait, is that racist?
That's racist.
Where are you?
Over here.
Where's over here?
Jumping! Just head back the way you came.
I threw my pants on the ground.
Stop throwing your pants everywhere.
Oh, you didn't even come close to me.
No, I'm building our fucking hut, dude.
Dude, I got a water bucket, dude. Ooh, hemp.
Yeah, I have hemp already.
Yeah, I'm going to get my own hemp. I don't need your shit. Get out of here.
Oh, my game just froze for a second. Holy shit.
Yeah, so did mine. I'm gonna make a shirt.
I don't like this actually. We're gonna build somewhere else.
Boots. Gonna make me a helmet.
We can cut down all these trees and be fine. Right here. Okay, I like this better. Yes, sir.
I am a panting leather daddy.
Odd.
Oh, look at me. Let me in. Nice wang.
Oh, that's right. You still see my wang. What?
I totally just put my spear up your ass and made a fart sound.
Wow, Skylar, you're so mature.
I'm like 7. This is where we're building permanently, right?
For now, yeah. Huh. What are you doing? Why are you making weird noises? The fuck? What are you doing?
Hey, Gunnar, I can't get in.
Give me a second.
Chaka angry. What if you can't get back in now? Okay.
Come authorize yourself.
We be friends now too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Alright, cool. See you later. Yosh.
Okay, how much did you fuck up my plans for the future?
Maybe a lot.
Mildly.
I mean, Gunnar, I entered your life a couple years. I fucked up the sentence. Surely did that. They just said keep going.
Yep. Nope, I need that to open the other way.
Boop, boop, boop.
Exciting content!
Yeah, I know. You should be watching me because I'm actually doing stuff. But they can't because Gunnar's a greedy little attention whore.
Yeah, that's how this works. You're right. It's all my fault.
So yeah, he could totally just switch to use to my monitor, but he doesn't want to because he doesn't want me to take all the ad revenue.
Okay, I'm giving you a freaking
If I don't understand
a
how something
bag.
works, I'll
I'm
just say
giving you a
ad
bag. Yeah, I figured that one out.
Kind of like if Trump doesn't understand something, he just says Mexico will pay for it.
Rough.
Bro,
For-
we just lost like 3 of our viewers.
Okay, I'm making arrows.
I suck.
Oh, I made spears instead of arrows. You know, it's like the same.
I am 90 wet. Thank you, Shane.
Come on, Sky. Let's go spear stuff. We need to go start.
Gunnar, I missed time to jump and I'm in the water. Give me 5 seconds to find a ladder. Actually, missed time to jump is the wrong word.
Don't die. We have to go kill something. Come on.
I don't think I'll die. Be sure to vote. You know they should have said that in 2016. Ha Topical. Oh shit. Don't die. Don't die. Don't die.
If you die, I'm fucking.
No, I hate the how much it blurs your vision when you're underwater. I feel like you can see slightly better than that in real life.
Oh yeah, the irradiated island water.
No.
And
I'm giving the same excuses.
our weird fucking, random people eyes.
Hey, hey, hey! No F words. I still throw my spear. I can throw. You can use your spear while you're in the water swimming.
Yes.
Gunnar.
What?
I'm a superhuman learning adapting machine.
I know you are. Come on, we have to go kill some stuff.
Alright, Gunnar, you keep saying that, and it does not make me swim any faster.
Well, how about you hurry the fuck up then?
I'm working on it.
I don't see any way to. Unless there's red barrels inside the harbor.
There's tons of barrels.
Red barrels. We need the ones with low
I
grade.
don't know if they're red barrels. The server restarts every night. Alright, well good, we can just mess around then.
No. We have till a while. Okay. No, it just restarts so it doesn't crash. It's not like it resets.
All I do is
I love the pokey.
I know you do.
Stop.
What?
I'm starving. Skylar, I'm hungry.
We'll kill something.
I can't find anything to kill.
Is that my problem?
Yes? I'm the one with the freaking lock on the door.
You mean the key?
Yeah. Oh, I see you. You scared the piss out of me.
I hope so.
Just tinkled.
No.
This harbor is different than any of the other harbors I've ever been at.
There's significantly fewer Mexicans.
That. Don't be racist. It's against the server rules. Is there like a chicken? I need like a chicken. Come on, dude. Give me chicken.
I think you mean give me cock.
Ah, yeah, he's real creative, everybody. Did you hear that one? Cock. Cunt.
Where'd you even go? You're like gone.
Yeah, I need to find food.
Me too.
I make some clothes.
You know, remember when I said we need to find like a river or something? Or like a road? And you're like, no, don't. Right here, got harbor.
Yeah. Is it a gas station or mining outpost? Mining outpost. Usually there's friggin' food everywhere. What the hell are you talking about? Go away.
This is the best part of the game. Starting out trying to find food so you don't die every 5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I put some, oh, wait, is this a water thing? I think I might have found a water thing, dude. What the hell is this? Well, we have a
The
thing.
water thing, do you mean stream or river?
No. It's like a well. Yeah, it's a well. Hell yeah, it's a well, dude.
That doesn't necessarily help us at the moment.
Yeah, it's an E19. Yeah.
Does
Okay,
it
so
help us or no?
we have a source of water now.
Okay.
Come on, at least let me kill the frog or something. Oh, there's a big ass base right there.
There are no frogs.
I wish there were frogs.
I'm gonna jump into the ocean and kill myself.
Okay, so there's a land bridge right here where I'm at. Just hoping to find something to eat. Maybe I'll go knock on the door and ask for something to eat. There's literally nothing to eat. Ooh, I found something to eat. Die! You have been ranked up to noob. Come.
Oh, 16 food and it hurts.
Yeah, I'm at 6, dude. How do you think I feel?
Slightly hungrier than I am.
Come back here, you fucker. Yay!
Liz proclaimed that we should kill a deer.
Yeah, I killed one.
Cool. I can't even find anything.
Get over to me.
Working my way over there. I may die before I make it there.
I doubt it. I'll fucking start cooking shit.
There's a gas station down here.
Where the hell are you at? Oh, dude, you went too far. I'm in G19, F19. Quickly. Get over here, I have food.
There's a massive base at the bottom here.
Yeah, I already mentioned that.
I didn't see where you were when you said that.
I have a cool hat.
I have 6 food.
I'm at 0.
Are you eating right now?
Yep, okay, I have food.
Can you, how we say, quit your bitching?
Yeah. Where are you at? I'm coming to you.
Skeet.
Yeah, I'm coming to you. I have the food on me.
I've been ranked up to to 0 food?
I don't know. What?
What?
What? Eat some of that. Don't die. Come on. Back to base.
Why don't we go back to base? Okay.
Oh, do you need me to
I don't
make...
think it's.
Here. I can make you a stone hatchet and a stone pickaxe. Do you need those?
Sure. I don't have any stone. I have a bunch of other random shit I got.
Come
from
here, come here.
Bengals.
Come here. Come here.
Oh, I guess it's instant, so I don't need to wait. Yeah.
There you go. It's a... You can start harvesting trees now.
I want to find barrels to hit.
Oh, hit some trees. We need trees. Unless we want to recycle some stuff.
There's a recycler at the thing.
Yeah, do you have a bunch of random stuff? What do you mean a recycler that you snagged? What?
That I found. Sorry, at the
That's what I say. What?
Your hunting skills shit.
She can go fuck herself. This game's hard.
Well, she like hunts for realsies.
I fucking chased after it naked. Like what? My dog's out.
I was like, baby, it's a video game. Different than real hunting. It's different. You can't just sneak up on it. It has a radius of sensation around it where it'll just sense you.
Then bolt. Don't worry, I'll hunt Skylar.
Please don't hunt Skylar.
That man near you? I told me yes.
Yeah, that one landed really fucking close to me. The last one did not.
Hey Skylar, did you plant all these?
Plant all what?
There's a bunch of hemp just laying here.
No, I grabbed a shitload of it earlier.
No, somebody planted it in a row. You scared me.
There's a green dot over my head. Grow a pear.
No, I can't see it through objects.
Grow a pear.
Eat my butt.
Don't grow a pear in your butt.
That'd be weird, man. You don't have any crude oil, do you?
I don't have any fucking anything.
Hmm.
Well, I don't have any. Oh, I went the dumb way. It's fenced off over there. I missed. Don't even trip, dog.
Ooh.
What?
Yeeted my spear on accident. Oh wow. Where's this recycler?
It's fuck.
Is it over here where it's supposed to be?
There might be one over there, but I didn't look over there.
No, there's only ever one.
Then no, it's to the right more, yeah.
Yeet.
Yeah, it's by the screen, or it's by the gray building.
You have to do some. Oh no, there's a ladder here. Yeah, we don't have to smelt anything at all. We can just recycle this shit. Cause they're giving us a fuckload of stuff.
If her shit continues about us not being able to hunt correctly, I'm gonna weigh my options.
Well, I just got some big ass barricades.
Or I'm gonna sit her down at this computer and be like, alright babe, show me how it's done.
This game's hard too, especially at least we don't have anybody yelling at us right now.
Hunt, especially in different languages. That's always the best.
Yeah.
When you're being yelled at in a language you don't understand really aggressively while they're waving guns at you.
Yeah.
Now I know what they feel like in Iraq.
Wrong. Okay, Skylar, we can I can make code locks now. Keep looking for scrap and recycling it.
I have 146 scrap.
I have 220 on me.
Better not weigh my options. You better get out of my asshole.
This is gonna be weird to look back at.
Especially if I weigh my options.
Yeah, you definitely weighed them.
Oh fuck. Oh, I just poked the air. Totally meant to. I might go out and try to go like towards that Oxum's gas station in like G11 or
No, go
G12.
towards mining. Mining might have some shit.
Gunner.
Yeah.
The door is locked.
Yeah, I know. It said I had the lock. I have the code locks for it.
Gunner.
I'm on my way, you idiot. Uh-oh, someone's got an L96. That's not good. Although that temporary base is kind of shite, we can make a new one. Let's look at the rest of the land really quick. Because this is gonna just be our forward base. Okay, come here. I opened it up.
There we go. Come out and look at the sign though, real quick. It doesn't say anything dirty.
Okay.
I'm full.
Yeah, put the scrap in there. Put extra crap in there. Oh, I just farted like a motherfucker. I'm gonna harvest.
Wow. All right. Cool. Thanks.
What? Oh, I just lock you out?
No, you're just like, oh, you farted like a motherfucker.
I'm gonna do some harvesting. You go check up there.
She's being a massive smartass.
Basically.
You can't even talk shit about her behind her back because she's watching.
What is an airstrike? What is an airstrike? What is an airstrike?
I'm assuming it's a strike from the air gunner.
Well, yeah. Now I'm scared.
I'm saying don't hurt yourself overthinking it. I'm pretty sure we're dead with the amount of shit we have. Oh, I'm just like at someone's base right now that I just didn't see. Hey,
Fuck, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, like I literally just walked right into it thinking it was a rock face.
Is it like secured or is like somebody left it?
I don't know. It's a fuckload of like brick and like metal and shit. Not brick, stone. If you are here, please do not kill. Well, I'm scared there's no boxes here, which meant somebody was here recently. Yeah. Okay. Gunner, you picked a shitty spot.
You know, it's okay. We can always move.
We're between two people that are very well established.
Well, we can well establish ourselves. What the hell does it mean? I don't know. Actually, let's just move down to the water. Yeah. I'm gonna move this down towards the water.
Next to the other base?
No. By the... More by harbor, but down at the water. I'm just gonna start the second base.
Can I tactically fall down this? Maybe?
Yeah, if you're just really careful about it.
That was the sound of me being careful, Gunner.
What's it?
I took about 40 damage. Gunner,
Yeah, what's up?
I'm 3% wet. That's just from looking at you, the baby cakes. Now I'm 12% wet.
Oh god, I love it when you say that you're wet.
No, only 12%. Well, I'm not gay or anything.
That'd be weird, man. We're not gay here. That'd be gay. Riveting content. That's all that we make.
30% wet.
Why are you so wet?
Look at where I'm going. I'm going on a journey. Far and wide, hoping I'm not encountering any of the other 11 people on the server. This is good content. We are good content. I have good content. Content. Yarp.
Yarp. You suck. I hate you for that.
Yarp. Making my way downtown. Walking fast.
Yarp, yarp, yarp.
Fast, and I'm home down. Yarp, 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 yarp. And I miss you. Yarp, 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 yarp. That's a building.
Yarp, yarp.
Don't stop me now. Cause I'm having a good yarp. Having a good yarp. Something about you make me tingle in my little boy pants. I should stop.
Preferably.
There comes a time where you need to realize what you're saying isn't funny and it's just weird. She says we are the epitome of content. And I realize how sarcastic that was, and it makes me sad on the inside.
Ouch.
Actually, though, in her voice, she would have said, you are the epitome of content, which makes me giggle a little bit more. Pokey. 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 Gunner, that's a helicopter.
It's probably the airstrike, dude.
There's a helicopter and an airstrike.
No, I think...
Gunner, I don't see it, but I hear it, and I'm scared. Oh my god, it sounds so loud. Oh, I'm running.
Skyler, if you find more of those wooden not barricades, but like high external walls, grab those. Oh, yeah, I hear it. Oh my god, I hear it.
It sounds so fucking loud.
Yeah, I'm hiding.
Oh, I see it. It's like in I-10.
Okay, I'm running back to the main base, grabbing all the good shit, making some code locks for us.
I got some shit.
Is any of it good shit?
Eh.
Oh, you have all the food too. Please don't die.
I found more food too.
You did? You killed something?
No, I found a
Mushrooms?
loot box. No, I found a loot box.
Oh, full of food?
We are still recording, thank you. I still can't believe you got pink hair.
Where there's pink hair? You just finally look at himself?
It sounds like it's moving like right on me. The fucking helicopter died down. Oh, nope, it's shooting at somebody.
Fuck.
I'm just running.
Yeah, run towards me, run towards me. We're at the bottom of a giant cliff face.
Oh my god, it's following exactly where
Well, you found that guy's base, right? Can you hide in that base? Or, no, go hide in, Oh, I made it inside. Here, I'll make you a bag really quick. Wait, you still have the bag back at the base, so hopefully you don't die. I'm putting another bag in.
It's fucking following me, Gunner.
That's not good.
No, the chopper just kills everything.
Yeah, it's a big sad.
Yep, now it's shooting at me.
Well, you have the.
I'm dead. It's just on top of me now. I'm dead.
That's fine. It's
It's
okay.
so fast. It was two entire squares behind me when it started shooting at me, and then it was teleporting to me. I have everything on me. Oh my god, I hate this game. This is so dumb. It's to level the playing field for people that have guns, however, now I can't go outside.
Oh, are you locked in our base?
Well, yes, that, but I also can't go outside because the chopper will hit me. Isn't it 10? Shouldn't you be in bed? Good night. Shane, go to bed.
How do you vote to skip night? Is that an option? Okay, lock is 777. I'll come get you. I'll let you out. Okay. Okay. So hit vote day. Type in vote day to the chat.
What do I do?
Just hit enter / vote day. Hi. Come on. I'll show you the new base.
I don't... My shit's in, like, G17 somewhere.
That's okay. We can go back for that later.
I'm gonna despawn by the time we're gonna be able to go back.
If you have a lot of shit, it takes a long time to despawn. Almost half the server. If it does vote skip night, you're good. I'll open this for you so we can get inside. It's an airlock, so it's 77777. Okay, you in? Okay, I'm giving this one to you. I'm renaming them each. Okay, we need to kill another animal. We need to get more animal fat. Oh, come authorize yourself on this. Are you fucking throwing the rock?
I don't have a tennis ball.
Did you authorize yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, how about you make yourself a bow and arrow? Take out some cloth, grab out some wood.
Okay. Good content.
Hey, we're skipping night. Look at that. Okay, do you have a bow?
I have a bow.
Okay, so you said your stuff was in G17?
I think.
Okay. I'm headed that way then. Is that why you got really wet?
Yeah, I was going on an adventure.
Ah. God, I hope they can't hear me fart. I keep farting.
God, if you say it, they're gonna pay attention to it more. Come on.
Ask Liz, can you hear me fart?
She can hear you ask that.
I just wanted to be.
I'm fucking annoyed.
I found a boat. I'm gonna take the boat across. I'm gonna hopefully find your stuff. Do you remember? Did you die down a cliff or on top of a cliff?
I was near the cliff.
Near the top?
I was running along the edge. So I guess it's
So,
between G16. It's between middle G15 and middle G17 somewhere. I couldn't see mining outposts, but I was also just looking behind me.
I forgot to take the low grade. Man, I hope I get it. Man, I really need this job. How many boys? How many girls? How many?
I really
Need this job.
God, I need this job. I have to get this. If for those of you who can't see, for visual, I'm on top of a car singing this. Running around, running around, running around. Now I'm brown.
I killed a wolf.
I don't have enough time for that. Okay, good night. If I get 100 viewers, I will
Kill myself. What?
No!
Not
I
that.
can't enjoy the fame of 100 random people liking me. I should just make flyers of this and post this where I work. Or URL.
That would be funny as shit.
I can only knock on this door.
Which door?
I don't know, it's like one of those doors in Harbor.
You can knock on those doors?
It will only let me knock on it.
The fucking helicopter's still out here.
Try shooting arrows at it.
I'm not gonna do that. If it comes to it, I'll make myself a 1x1 really quickly.
Like Fortnite.
Yeah, I'll fucking Fortnite this shit.
My building skills are off the chart.
7.
Is the chart 7 or are your building skills 7?
Yes.
I'm confused by your statement.
It's literally coming. Oh god.
I hear it. I'm just gonna sit inside of this little hut.
I don't have enough wood.
This server is gay. I have my bow and arrow out. I'm ready to shoot it.
Apparently, if you don't have any weapons out, it's supposed to not shoot you.
That didn't work.
No, I mean in your quick select spot.
Can we test that theory?
No. Well, while I'm waiting, I'm gonna farm. I'll just run back into my 1x1 if it comes near me. I hear it. It is very curiously close to me.
No, it sounded like you said very vicariously close to you.
It's just like Liz. She's vicariously living through us.
I said vicariously.
I know you did. It's part of the meme. The meme, as some say. I really want to know if that's how Liz pronounced it before she met you, and I would giggle my tits off.
What?
If she pronounced meme. Because my fucking mom did before I told her, no mom, it's pronounced meme. Meme? Hmm.
Memes are bad.
many boys, how many girls? Oh, I can cook stuff in this. That's dope. Making some food, Skylar, because I'm starving. I'm currently in E19. I see that you're in Harbor.
I literally had 3 different.
Yep.
Apple, bunch of other shit.
Oh no, I'm just cooking this wolf up.
Where are you?
E19.
E19.
I'm in that weird water
progress.
thing.
You're very close to finding my body, right? Any day now.
I gave up on that. I figured we can replace this stuff faster than looking for it. How does she like me hunt that wolf, huh? Turd. I hit that bitch in the head.
Please tell me you threw the rock at it and then said turd.
No, I bowed it. I used a bow. Bird.
No, fuck.
Did you fucking what? Are you in the water?
Yeah.
That's
That
the
wasn't even me jumping. I just
Skylar in the
slowly
water
swam.
noise. Okay, once I get shit smelting, we'll be good. The helicopter's still around. If you check your up left, tells you what's around. Mother. There we go. Okay. I can't really use that anymore. Okay, I got a bunch of stuff to smelt. Schmelt. Help. I meant recycle. Schmelt.
So you said smelt wrong, and you meant something else.
All I remember is that guy that says fucking Timmy Turner did wish for a big dick, so he's packing some schmeat. And that makes me giggle to think about. Oh god, itchy. Where are you at in Harbor? I'm at the recycler.
I think this is close. You hear that?
No. The recycler's kind of loud. Where are you? Oh, you're to my left. See, can you do this with real hunting? Oh, wait. Yeah, I think you have to do. I'm trying to do that jump shot.
I am getting painfully sleepy.
Gay?
I mean, I guess.
Oh, you can't do the blockers? You can recycle. Just bring that shit back. Oh, you need some food? Okay, half the food's behind you.
It says wolf meat, but I read loaf meat.
Okay, the fucking thing is officially gone.
Hey.
Not good, ain't it? Hey.
It's not. For at all. I was gonna say, hey, need to sleep or I'm gonna die.
No, you're not.
I'm so tired.
Only the gays sleep.
That's not how that works.
All I can imagine is that stupid meme that's like, that's not how any of this works.
The building's decaying.
I'm working on it.
I had so many fucking metal frags on my body.
How?
I recycled a lot of shit.
That makes sense.
And now, I bid you adieu.
I'll cut the stream there. Hey, everybody. I'm gay.